your fancy. You can have it any way you want. Your fancy. You can have anything you like. It's your fancy. You can have it any way you want. Your fancy. You can have anything you like.
This is for you, Gemini. March is the month of the angelic frequencies of the gemstone of Aquamarine. Your birthstone is pearl, Gemini, so what we need to do is see how these two gemstones resonate with one another. I'm Pastor Rosemary, the Astrology Angel. Thank you for joining us. To contact me, you can visit www.readingsbyrosemary.com, where we provide you with all the information that you'll need for obtaining a spiritual consultation, psychic astrology, Rosicrucian Kabbalah, as well as classes and our upcoming seminars. Now, March's gemstone of Aquamarine has light emanations of the astrology archangel Amethyst, and your zodiac sign gemstone of pearl has the properties of light bestowed by the zodiac archangel Umbriel. Stay right here as we give you the gemstones that are particular to your ruling planet of Mercury, Gemini. Emerald, fluorite, moss agate, and sodalite are the precious stones used to align oneself with the energies of the planetary angel Raphael, who is assigned to the planet Mercury in Kabbalah, who is also the archangel of the east, ruling over the warm, moist winds that originate from easterly compass directions. He is the divine physician corresponding to the Greek god Hermes Trismegistus and the Egyptian god Thoth, thereby being the Roman god Mercury, applying logical justification as well as reason, logic, to this familiar levels of bestowal and healing and resourcefulness and also ingenuity. So be mindful of your own intentions and also your own potency when utilizing these powerful gemstones in unison with each other. The planetary archangel Raphael is assigned to the planet Mercury in Kabbalah. The Zohar states, the first day of the creation is the synthesis of all the other days. For as there is really no separate fractional moment in time, they only form part of the whole. It is written, God said, let there be light, meaning angelic beings who are emanations from the light on high that shines forth on a world below, and were created on the first day and took up their position on the right hand of the Holy One, against from the Zohar. Moreover, the Zohar exerts the following passage, the fact is that the angel Raphael, who is appointed to heal the earth of its evil and its affliction and the maladies of mankind, was created on the second day. Again, from the Zohar. Now, Mercury is known as the attribute of God the winged messenger, found in Acts 14:12. And they called Barnabas Jupiter, but Paul Mercury, because he was chief speaker. Your air guardian archangel Raphael speaks to you from your Gemini astrology archangel Umbriel. This is an angelic horoscope transmission from your Gemini zodiac angel Umbriel, who resides over the twins' mutable air, and here are his messages for you in the areas of love, money, and health. First, Umbriel's love, rapture, and romance transmission. The orange angelic light frequencies of the angel, the zodiac angel Umbriel, combined with exhilarating healing oscillations emanating from freshly relaxing vibratory pulses from the gemstone of Aquamarine, invigorates your romantic relationships. This is due to provisions made by divine providence through this birthstone's privileged spiritual inheritance. It's because of 12th house associations. Enjoyment of a precise permutation of zodiac angel Nitziel's natural 12th house attributes, in addition to your own Gemini energies, bestows to you overflowing quantities of very heartfelt personal associations with the traditional zodiac sign of Pisces because of the enhancing, cool, and subtle light beams that sparkle forth from a gem which reserves delightful and very happy experience for the holder of such a gemstone through a refreshment of your heart chakra, thus causing a great deal of physicality via interdimensional communication made possible through harmonizing within the third eye, the crown, and the sacral chakras. Now for Nitsiel's money and wealth transmission, finances show overflowing abundance for those who spend time getting to know economic principles as well as how to woo money's fickle spirit into a well-prepared lair. That which is below corresponds to that which is above, and that which is above corresponds to that which is below, as stated in the great alchemical work, the Emerald Tablet, attributed to Hermes Trismegistus. And when we get into this particular aspect, people think that, okay, so, if I do something great for divine providence, or I do something great for some God principle above me or for the universe, then I'm going to have all kinds of blessings come my way. But that isn't always the way it works. It's actually very complicated and very particular how it works, because everybody is such a great sphinx of various astrological configurations, and really there are not only the 10 Sapphire, but there's the 4 worlds of the Kabbalah, which are in association with some other traditions where they have a similar way of expressing it. It's the name of God, Yud He Vav He. Yud being 10, the numerical value, and the Hebrew letters. He being 5, Vav being 6, and He being, the final He being 5. It's fire, water, air, and earth. It's fire, water, air, and earth. It's the elementals. That's the name of God. And when you have Yud He Vav He, that is Aries, there's other permutations, and they correspond to the Hebrew months. And that's why there's some overlap in the Western calendar. We're saying 12th house and March for Pisces, but it might overlap a bit in the Western calendar, but on some of the Eastern calendars and the Hebrew calendar, it's specific. We'll get into those Hebrew months later on. And I'm of a Catholic and Rosicrucian tradition, but still yet it's a Judeo-Christian tradition. So it's good to know where your tradition comes from. So it explains a lot of the things that seem to not make sense when you understand where it's coming from. Now, with that said, also, if you take the 4 worlds, you have Asaya, the lower world, which is the realm of the flesh, and the demon realm underneath the fleshly world. That's Asaya in Hebrew, whereas in some other traditions it might be called just the physical world in just modern secular science or psychology, whereas in some other spiritual traditions it's called the substantial, the world of the substantial, the quality of the substantial. Then above that you have the Hebrew word Yetzirah. Olam means world, but Yetzirah that's formation, and that's the unsubstantial. Then above that you have Bria, the Hebrew word Bria, the world of Bria, Olam. Again, Bria, Olam, Olam means world. So you have Bria, you have archetypes, that's for if you're thinking about it in a more psychological kind of science. And then that's associated with the divine substantial, or the angelic realm, or the realm of the gods and the goddesses. Then above that you have the world of Absolute, Olam, Absolute, and you have, or Absolute Olam, and you have, that's just creation, it's the force of creation, it's the light. emanating, and it's called the divine unsubstantial. Corresponds to that. And it's that realm of kind of pure consciousness or realization, self-realization, mastery, spiritual mastery. So it's these all have correspondences. And so you see that since you have the substantial world and you have the divine unsubstantial, if you do one thing, it's not going to be so easy to ascertain how you're going to get a response or in what kind of response you're going to get. And it would rely on what part of someone else or what part of reality you're targeting. You have to know what world and what sephira you're dealing with. It's not so simple. I mean, there are simple forms of this, and there are not so simple forms of it. And people do what they're best at. Connecting one's God self. It's that higher quality, that world of Absolute or the Sephir of Kether, that high God consciousness, to receiving monies in the physical world. That's the point. And that becomes more fun and adventurous. It has to, if it's coming from that world, because that's what that world is about, and it's about freedom. That's why it's important to make sure you're enjoying yourself. If you want to make a lot of money, you have to have fun or enjoy what you're doing, or it's not going to come from that world. That's the point. But you can also remain dignified. With that said, during an astrological progression, we're combining Gemini's Pearl Birthstone with your ruling planet Mercury's Emerald Gemstone. Added to March's Aquamarine gem unites astrology, archangelic forces known to Umbriel and Amithiel, reviving businesses great and small, with an exuberant force of willpower to allow for spiritual development of your very soul, destined for prominence in the world to come. Experiential divine illumination is projected from within the soul self, then being reflected back towards any individual monad based upon purpose, intent, as well as attitude. Very important. The sacral, crown, and third eye chakras are reinvigorated in celestial surrounding with March's gemstone that's expecting you to endow a lot of opportunity and to bestow great boundless amounts of energy to a world fettered by unnecessary self-restriction. It's about people are going to be restricting themselves, and they're going to be coming to you to understand how they can get out of the habit of restricting themselves and wanting to be a little bit more able to express themselves and let out their creativity. The creative force called Boré. Now, in this manner, you're going to be able to provide immeasurably pleasant experiences for not only yourself, but for others as well. And it's very important that you're able to understand how you can help other people also. For Umbriel's health and fitness transmission, health centers on complementing upper supernal realms such as crown and third eye chakras through objectively manifesting situations via sacral vortex assertions from divine principle towards physicality, ascending up into more fruitful dimensions, which through well-applied chakra healing techniques are able to be timeless while concurrently substantial. And we talked about the realm of the substantial, which is the physicality, the realm of Visaya. Kabbalistic assertions stating that Kether is in Malkut and Malkut is in Kether. It's kind of like a yin and yang thing. Find a place via 12th house attributes, since March's zodiac sign of Pisces ruling planets are concerned with both the feet and the head due to correspondences with Jupiter and Neptune respectively, remembering that Jupiter associates with the sacral chakra to stabilize the entire energetic organism expressed in 10 Kabbalistic Sephirotic dimensions. You're going to find the energy frequencies of Gemini's pearl, or your ruling planet Mercury's gemstone of emerald. Sodalite or fluoride can also be used if you want to. Added to March's Aquamarine gem. You're going to find it very motivating during March, causing you to feel more able to accomplish all the things that you set your mind to, especially when it comes to the areas of mind, body, and soul. Healthfulness. Your sacral chakra is considered to be all important during 12th house sojourns for the principle of establishing fulcrums. It's all about leveraging what is often thought to be sort of hypocritical in attempts to express myriads of anxiety-provoking ascending lifestyles where everybody's trying to get better and very spiritual, mixed in with outrageously passionate, almost degrading lifestyles. And that's the key to March's energy. In other words, aspirations for being real or getting very realistic or pragmatic might at times appear to conflict with ambitions for the soul's recognition of its own personal godhood. And that's what you're dealing with. Astrocartographic arrangements, currently as well as at birth, must be revealed if a holistic style of unveiling one's inner nature is truly what's desired. For our disclaimer, remember, high magic should be used with all mindfulness, since powerful forces of manifestation are unleashed. This is intended exclusively for entertainment purposes. Remember to chant your divine tone of I think, or try out the higher aspect of simply meditating on the quality of thinking, and be wise, be well, be all you are meant to be, Gemini. Thank you for joining us. Join us again.